think the breakthrough using transit is severalfold. One is it's a clearly a function of government that can be isolated, that can be separated by itself and say, okay, let's just think about transit right here. Secondly, the United States Department of Transportation for years has required that, especially on rail, that there must be regional efforts involved. And third is it's something that people can see, and for elected leaders and business leaders, they can point to something as well. And the last big thing, and this is what's caused this major burst right now, is the price of gasoline and the question of what happens to families as well as the regional economy when the gas goes back up. When the gas hit $4 a gallon, there was a major awakening all across this country. As soon as the world recession is over, it will go back to $4 a gallon, and then a number of authorities are predicting that within 5 or 6 years after that, it will be up to $7 a gallon or more. And so what you have to say is, what happens in a region if a person lives 30 miles from their work, or if they have to drive 8 miles to school, if you have no alternatives? The alternatives are either walkability by smart growth principles or transit. The federal government is changing dramatically under the new administration. They understand we are a regional state, regional nation. They also understand the relation between different functions of government. So, for example, on the new directives, what you have to do is look at major national priorities and goals as you administer your programs. One of the goals, for example, is the reduction of the use of petroleum, energy sustainability. And so other departments, other than the energy department, now have to start including that as evaluations. So, for example, if you're applying for an economic development loan, the question would be, is the building you're doing energy efficient? The question would be, are you building way out in the middle of a green space where everyone's going to have to drive to that, or are you building in a place where there's either transit or where there is walkability? Now, in terms of competition for scarce tax credits and grants and loans and loan guarantees and so on, if you start putting those type of questions in, then all of a sudden it becomes much more favorable for areas that have smart growth principles, that have regional understanding and so on. The Office of Management and Budget, which oversees the entire federal budget, just adopted procedures that says specific attention is to be directed at programs that have regional implications. And so what they want is to reinforce the regional nature of this country, and not to reinforce the balkanization. So again, on most of these major functions, if you're applying for this, you will have to come in from a regional perspective, and you'll have to demonstrate what it does to energy, what it does to emissions for global climate change, what it does to economic competitiveness. And all of those factors now will start in a big way marching in with the new federal programs. The whole Middle Tennessee region has such potential, has a sense of excitement, and I'm really pleased to see how far along the discussions have come about regionalism. The new state legislation, the Mayors Caucus, the leadership of the Nashville Mayor, all of this together has been tremendous. But I would recommend several things. Number one, there's got to be much more sense of urgency. I see in the discussions they're still talking about 10-year plans before construction and stuff like this. Time is not on our side on some of these issues. Secondly, I would urge that there be even more effort to involve the enthusiasm of the general public. The general public has got to say, I really want this to work. Now, sure, they may object to a specific part of it, or I don't want this, or I don't want that, but they've got to understand, and it can't just be the leadership of the community. The third thing is I would get some physical project that people can see the results to this as rapidly as possible. I think the current approach on that is to focus on transit, and I believe that's exactly correct, and is what so many areas are doing. I can show you metropolitan area after metropolitan area, region after region, that are taking these first bold steps and are basing it on transit. Charlotte, North Carolina, for example. Even some smaller jurisdictions that can't do a light rail are putting together a rapid bus system and things of this approach. Phoenix, Arizona has now taken a regional approach that involves a couple hundred miles pulling everything together, and they are using rail as the same approach. So I think you're going to see more and more of that, and I would urge, get that first project going, let people see what it means, and start to link them physically more as a region as well. And when that gas is up there at $7 a gallon and people are looking around, they're going to say, you know, we had pretty wise leaders that helped pull this together like this.